this summer, again, I mean, you see who's there, Erling Haaland and Bellingham and whatever. And then you still see these same mistakes time and again at the back. And you know, a lot's been made about the youngsters at the club, but Dortmund's, one of their big issues is the defensive problems that they've had. And there, when you talk about people like Hummels, people like Axel Witsel in midfield, people like Emre Can, Akanji's not an 18-year-old kid anymore either. You know, you look at that and you say, well, where's the leadership from these players, and what is Lucien Favre doing about it? You know, I don't think he has gotten the best out of this very, very talented group of players. At the same time, Jurgen makes a great point about this club that, you know, from the time they signed Haaland and Gio Reyna came to the fore and Sancho and all this stuff, all they did was walk around like, oh, look, we're the smartest guys in the room, and look at all these great young players that we have, and surely we're going to go and do this and that. And, you know, that really turns the screws on your manager. It really turns the screws on Lucien Favre, who maybe might want to play in a different way or set up somewhat differently. But so they didn't make his job easier, but equally, he didn't live up to it. So the way I see it, time to give another guy a go.
Is that fair, Jurgen?
It's just reality. You know, I don't think it's fair, because obviously we are not on the inside of the club. We don't know exactly what certain technical directors or general managers or advisors of the boards, you know, what they're all saying, what they're all discussing day in, day out. When you bring in young players and you give them a chance to play, you always take risks as a manager, because you never know how it turns out. And especially when these kids like Giovanni Reina, which we all admire, you know, at 18 years of age, you know, what the things that he's doing on the field, or Bellingham that came in, and other kids. But you always risk basically that something goes wrong on the other end of the field, so defensively. But Gab is totally right. We discussed Dortmund so many times this season already. There is a lack of leadership, you know? And we all hope that Mats Hummels is the one that is the undoubtable leader and tells everybody what to do. Then Emre Can came in and also has the qualities of being a leader. But throughout the last couple of weeks, it was clear to see that the leadership was lacking. So now it's a very difficult situation for the club. Obviously, it comes an interims coach comes in now that knows the club. You know, he comes from the lower level of the club. You know, he coached youth teams at Borussia Dortmund. So we'll see what he can do there. But it's a harsh decision, sadly so, but this is how things unfortunately go in the professional game.
Yeah, Edin Terzic coming in now, Gab, and the games are coming thick and fast. Tuesday they're up against Werder Bremen, a bit of an unknown.
Yeah, I mean, I think in Germany there's generally been a long tradition of promoting people from inside the club, and it's been successful. You know, they don't look at necessarily at how old you are and whatever. They just look as, can you do the job, and is it an advantage if you know the club? So it looks like he has the job on an interim basis. Hansi Flick, of course, was supposed to have the job on an interim basis at Bayern, and look how things turned out for him. I would expect that they're going to take stock, you know, over the winter break, and then see where they are, see whether, you know, he continues to the end of the season, or whether they look to bring somebody in. But there's no question that it's time to reflect. And they have to be careful, these two games between now and the end of the season, when Erling Haaland returns, because, of course, they don't want to, you know, lose further space lose further places in the table, and maybe even put the top four finish at risk.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.